Good morning, everyone. How are we? All good? Okay, it is an honor to be before you. As a former nanny of 26 years, I am excited to see you all here because the fact that you are here, that means that our industry is evolving, we are growing, and we are heading into, I hope, the best years. There is a YouTube talk that I heard that I would like to share with you if you give me your email. It's Dr. Joanne Dick when she says early childhood educators, which we are included because we're caring for early childhood, right? If you're caring 0 to 2, let me tell you who you are. She would say we deserve to be paid as NBA players. And she says that the starting salary for anyone who's shaping the brain of a human life should start at 500,000 per year. So I know it sounds amazing, but we can actually make it happen. And I hope today, as I tell you, the evolution of our industry, for us that have been long than 20 years or 25 years, we can see there has been a change. I don't know for how long we've been doing International Training Day, but I started my nanny career in 2000, and I gotta tell you, there was no Facebook groups, no classes, no community, nothing. Now there's all sorts of courses being offered, and we're gonna talk about that. But thank you so much again for being here. I congratulate you all, and I hope today I will inspire you and I will remind you who you are, how valuable your job is, how you are impacting a human life. You're not caring for a child, you're shaping an adult. Because these children who are babies now in our care, they are going to be the next teachers, professors, lawyers, presidents. So these hands are the world for the child. So what we're going to shape, it's going to be the human life. We are sculptors, neurosculptors, most likely, because it's the brain that it's developing in our time. 80% of the brain develops. But anyway, I don't want to go into that yet. So welcome. And I hope after this talk, you're going to feel inspired, motivated, and empowered to remember who you are. Because it's not just about getting more money to be paid. I just want us to realize and understand how important is our job and how we change lives, families, and actually the future. Anyway, my name is Larissa. You already know. I just want to say quickly hi to all my students. Where are they? Thank you so much for anyone who already has taken my course, which is not mine. It belongs to the Resources for Infant Educators, which is RIE, but we'll talk about that later. So today we're going to talk about the evolution of the nanny profession and where we are headed. So today is not about learning new tricks. It's about remembering what actually matters and understanding where our profession is headed. So let's go. But before, see, I'm so excited to tell you about all these girls that I forgot something. I want to give away 2 books today, okay? So let's do it. First of all, who is just starting out as a nanny in this group? Who has 0 to 1 year as a nanny? Okay, there's several hands and I only have 1 book. Let's see how many you have. Who has 1 year? 1 year as a nanny. You? Okay, come. I'm going to give you a book. Let's clap our brand new nanny. This is a right book about toys and play. Thank you. Congratulations. I have another book. Who has 10 or 25 10, 15 or 20, no, let's say 20 years as a nanny. Come, 20 years. Come, she raised her hand first. Congratulations to everybody. So I'm gonna give her my book. I hope it helps you, my love. Okay. All right. I feel so good about it. And before I proceed with my talk, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. Like, I know you already went to my table, and whomever grabbed this flyer, I want to tell you a little bit about it. This is a flyer that describes the Certified Right course. And I want to just say that if you are a nanny and you want to take the class, you can talk to your parents, the family that you're working for, and you can bring this and say, listen, I'm going to take this class. Would you like to help me pay for it? And I have nannies who have shown this, which it describes beautifully what the course is. So the parents are like, oh, wow, this is going to actually really benefit my kid if you take the class. And I give them receipts and they get some money back, half of the course, the whole course. So don't just waste this flyer, okay? You can use it as a tool when talking to your parents. You can say, I just attended the International Nanny Training Day, and there is this course that I really would like to attend, and it's here, yeah? So that's all. Anyway, so let's go to our present topic. The evolution of the nanny. Where did we come from, girls? Where did we start? Oh, and by the way, whomever, I want you to pay attention to me, okay? Because the brain is very greedy. If you start taking notes, you're not gonna listen to me. So I want you to really listen, and at the end, I'm gonna give a few minutes for questions. I want you to, because if you write your email where Renata is, I can give you the entire talk. So don't worry, I have copies for everybody. I will email it to you. So just listen and take pictures if you wish. Anyway, let me start saying something that might surprise you, which I already kind of say it. You are shaping an adult, and yet most of the time, the world still sees nannies as people who simply help out to watch the kids, to keep them entertained. How many of us want to get out of that? We're not entertaining, we're educating. Every moment we spend with our child, every diaper change, every boundary we hold, every pause we take before reacting. I really appreciate our previous speaker. Thank you so much. I really liked everything she said about taking a pause, about setting our own boundaries, even though the parents are different, which we all know they are always different, but gently and calmly state our boundaries with them, right? So what we do is not small work, it's not casual work, it's human development. And here is the truth. The nanny profession is evolving. Families are not just looking for someone who loves children. They are looking for professionals who understand, and here's the key, girls. This is what I hope to encourage you with. They are looking for professionals who understand child development, who can support emotional growth, who can partner with parents intentionally. We kind of talk about this, and I heard many of you talk about regulation. I think there was one comment, and I took note. How can we get a regulated child? If you know a little bit of brain development, you understand that a child 0 to 5 cannot regulate himself. We are the regulator for them. Our calmness, our drop, our body language, instead of being agitated when he's throwing a tantrum, we are neutral, calm. So the mirroring neurons of the frontal cortex of the brain is communicating to the child, she's calm, therefore I'm calm. And that is why when a child falls or something happens, we start getting nervous, our body crisps, the child gets more scared because he sees us scared, he's scared, who's gonna save us? So this is part of understanding what's happening to the brain through a tantrum, yeah? So the question is, if the industry is evolving, if the parents are looking for answers, are we evolving with it? What are we doing to be this person in a household who can bring answers to brand new parents, to nervous parents, to first-time parents? Because experience alone is no longer enough. Instinct alone is no longer enough. What we need is awareness, intention, and education. That's what we're here to talk about today. So let's go to our first slide. I have a blog actually that I wrote about this when I talk about from invisible help to intentional profession, the story of nannying in America. And if you wanna, you can go read it there. But briefly, I'm saying here that for generations, caring for children was just viewed as an extension of women's natural role, right? Not as a skill or professional labor. This role persisted even though without recognition. As the 20th century unfolded, families changed. More women entered the workforce, extended families lived farther apart, so they needed someone to be there for them. Still, nannies um, were often referred as simply the help. There is a movie that it's called The Help. I don't know if you have seen that, and we can attest to that. So expectations were high, professional identity was almost non-existent. So then versus now, anyone can be a nanny, anyone can do this. This requires skill. There is an industry shift, there are modern expectations of families, emotional intelligence is currency. How many of you understand emotional intelligence? Anyone? Okay, I'm glad. I'm gonna tell you what simply emotional intelligence is. It's understanding feelings. The child is building a tower, the tower keeps falling down, he's getting mad. Emotional intelligence is, I see you're frustrated or you're mad. The tower keeps falling down as you build. But here, we can try again, I can help you. Emotional intelligence is just, I'm intelligent about your feelings. I can see what you're feeling and I can empathize and I can lead you through because you are little and I'm the adult in the relationship and I have an education. I'm not gonna get mad at you because you keep being upset about your tower falling down. Yeah? So now I wanna encourage you with this slide. I wanna let you know who have been famous nannies in the world. First of all, before Princess Diana was a princess, guess what? She worked as a nanny, and you can see the picture there. Isn't it that she was just incredible? And that's why she was so loved, because, and that's why she became the people's princess, because if you remember her, she used to hug everybody, even sick children with very contagious illnesses. She was not afraid. Then we have Maya Angelou. We have Louisa May Alcott. She worked as a governess, scraping by to support her family. Those quiet hours watching kids sparked her book, Little Women. So there is something special about us being caregivers or nannies. It shapes us. I have to tell you, after being 25 plus years as a nanny, my life has completely changed. I have more empathy, I am more compassionate, I slow down in my life, I am more prone to listen than to have an opinion. it really shapes us. And imagine May Elcott, her book just blew to the roof because her sensitivity. So these stories remind us of something essential. Nannying always attracted capable, intelligent, deeply intuitive people. That's who you are. Just take pride in that. You are intelligent, deeply intuitive, and capable, even when society failed to recognize us. And to be honest, I feel that this society not acknowledging us is going to be over soon, because I think it already is. Because I want to share the next one. And I've seen this, some agencies have posted a little bit this on Facebook and Instagram. Girls, our profession can be acknowledged at the highest levels. This woman in the first place is Hispanic. She's from Spain. Her name is Maria Teresa Turron Borrayo. There wasn't an award in the Kingston Palace. They have to create an award for her for the outstanding care of the three kids of Princess Kate and Prince William. And they pin a royal medal. So this is where we can get acknowledged. So our career can be acknowledged at the highest levels. Imagine that. So the fact that the people that we are working for do not know this, it's okay. It's enough for you to know who you are and the important work you're doing by shaping this human life. Because the way you see yourself, I'm important, I'm crucial for the life of this child, they are going to start looking at you like this. This is the respect you're going to be gaining, because you have identity first. Nobody's going to give it to you. You have to have your identity of who you are. So today isn't about being better nannies. It's about recognizing that you already are and understanding where your profession is going. Yeah. So imagine this lady, and she speaks Spanish like us, like most of us here. Let me go to my next. So what's the turning point? And this is what I really wanted to talk about, understanding the early years. We all want a child who behaves, who doesn't cry, and that's not the case. In the first place, anyone working with children, we need to start understanding that this is a brand new human life, completely dysregulated, with a brain just about to develop in my hands, in our hands. So in first place, we shouldn't take anything personal. Oh, he's a crier. Oh, he is always like this. Oh, instead of having that view of the child, we need to start seeing children in a different way and understanding the early years. See? So today, the early years matter profoundly, and so do the people who care for children during those years. Families now are asking, how does my baby learn? How does respectful care look like? We were talking about previously about gentle discipline. How does that really work? Who is shaping my child's emotional world? Philosophies such as Rai, the one I'm representing today, and Montessori and other child-centered approaches are helping reframe caregiving as intentional, relational, and deeply impactful work. So nannying is beginning to move from help to professionals. So how much do we know about human development? That's a question that we need to ponder. Some basics, let's talk about. Do anyone in the room can tell me when did the brain finish developing? 27, very good. I'm so proud of this group. So our late 20s. So When my daughter was 20 and she was hot and cold with me, I would forgive her because she was so emotional. One day is, I love you, mom. The other was, I hate you. The frontal cortex of the brain doesn't develop until our late 20s, and for boys, it's a little later. Um, Another question: how many of you know what 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 happens to the brain when the children are experiencing a tantrum, which in RAI we call it a difficult moment? The brain doesn't feel safe. There's something that is triggering that child is not feeling safe. And I have a workshop like how to prevent tantrums and how to address them. Um, Before a tantrum happened, there's always something that previously happened that we as professionals who are one step ahead of the child should have already foreseen, which that doesn't mean that it's not okay to have a tantrum. How many of us have a difficult morning? Why do we want the child to be happy 24 hours, 7 days a week? In my world, all emotions are welcome. I love you when you cry. I love you when you sleep. I love you when you don't sleep, because I am the adult in the relationship and I'm here to support you, to hold you and to hold the space and watch for your development. Let's keep talking about our profession. So from anyone can do this to intentional teaching. So taking care of children used to be just task-based. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go there, change diapers. I'm gonna prevent him from falling. I'm not gonna let him cry, and he's gonna be fine, right? Today's families are seeking emotional intelligence, which I just said what it is, child development knowledge, which it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a scientist, but based on your observation and the information you can read or classes you can take, you would be well informed. Respectful communication. High level families pay for how you are, not just what you do. Again, piggyback riding on the previous speaker, she was saying, yeah, it's okay for children to know I hold boundaries with Larissa, but when my mom is here, she lets me jump up and down in the bed. I can eat all the candy. Understood. And it's true. Children are very intelligent. They see you and they say, oh, I know. With Larissa, I know what to expect. And with my parents, I know what to expect. And with my grandparents, I also know what to expect. Because that's how smart they are. This is how intelligent children are, yeah? So what families are hiring now isn't just help, it's presence, discernment, and education. The last is the most important one. And then there is this thing about education, my dear nannies, is it's protection for us. In this YouTube video that I was sharing in the beginning, she said, please stop using, I do this way, I do things this way, or in this childcare center, we do it like this. Start citing science. Start citing uh, human development. Say, sleep is so important because that is the way the brain develops. The research says that the brain is so greedy, it needs nutrition, sleeping, and water. Even though it says 1 hour without water, it's decreasing our brain capacity. So drink water, okay, even as adults. So if the children or the child doesn't sleep, clearly the brain is not developing. If you mention this to a parent, they will be like, So it's not what I say, it's what science says. So education is protection. Another thing I want to mention is Everybody knows now that the child learns by playing. The playing is the source of learning. But how many of us know that parents want us to entertain, to play? When I teach my courses, nannies come and say, but the parents are gonna think that that I don't like the child, that I don't love the child. That's why I don't make him play. And then I say, education again. When you have an education, you can say, if a parent comes to me and I'm sitting quietly observing a child who is playing, if the parent says, oh, what's going on here? You're not playing or whatever, I would say, he is so focused, I don't want to interrupt him, because children learn through play. Magda Gerber used to say, be careful on what you teach. You might be stealing what the child is learning. So because I took a course, because I'm educated, I can respond gently and kindly and guide the parents through without being preachy, without being, oh, I know everything and you don't know. With an example, citing the science again, not what the way you are, but what science says to enhance brain development. So understanding development protects the child, the nanny, and the relationship with the parents. Why respectful caregiving benefits caregivers too? Because, I'm going to go to that part in a minute when I talk about the course, but respectful caregiving is nothing less than being the nanny and taking a step back and saying, I'm going to allow him to play when he wants. I will not interrupt him when he's learning. How he learns? Playing. So I'm not going to be this monkey who's entertaining constantly the child. And then longevity and burnout prevention. We're going to talk about that in the next slide. So education does not make us rigid, it makes us free to be able to explain to parents why we do things certain ways. Now, girls, I have experienced burnout. In fact, I'm going to tell you, I just quit my job last Wednesday because you don't have to stay in a place that no longer serves the child more than me, because I'm an adult, my brain is cooked, I'm ready, there's no more for me. But in a child whose brain is developing, I would be a protector of that. So talking about professional longevity, how to stay in this career without burning out. Burning out is an all-time high. Reports show that 89% of caregivers felt it. We lose sleep, we're in constant stress. It's not just tired. Our nervous system is on fire. How many can attest? I'm not telling you that you're burned out. I'm just telling you that this tiredness of, wow, I can't keep up because I cannot entertain all day long. The parents are not help. Anyway, point one, why overgiving is not professionalism. These are topics I want to talk because we feel like by staying a little bit late, by getting those texts at midnight from parents, we're doing good. We are not. We're not setting a professional boundary with the families that we are serving, and the relation is going to become toxic. Huh? So you think you're a hero for skipping breaks, answering texts at midnight? Nope. That's depletion. That's not dedication. True professionals protect their energy, like a pilot checks oxygen before taking off. Overgiving, it crashes everyone. The cost of no boundaries is emotional labor. Listen, we are on a day-to-day, we are absorbing tantrums, parent drama, guilt trips, It's invisible work that fries our cortisol levels. If we ignore it, anxiety spikes, resentment builds, and jobs end fast. So, having boundaries is not rude, they are our survival in this industry. We don't want to burn out. Classes like child psychology, mindfulness, de escalation, they teach us to spot triggers early, breathe through chaos. Our parasympathetic system chills out. No more flight or fight loops. So I encourage you to protect yourselves because our job is very demanding and we need to have tools. Because, like, again, example of the airplane. When something happens, what do they say first? The adult should put the mask first in order to help the child. If I'm tired, stressed, and dysregulated, guess who's gonna feel it before you even know it? The child you're taking care of. And you're not gonna be happy. Now, why respectful caregiving benefits the nanny as much as the child? When you stay calm, again, we name the feelings, emotional intelligence, set gentle limits, the the children feel safe, you feel capable, no more power struggles, no guilt. So it's mutual. You recharge, they thrive. So longevity isn't luck. It's boundaries, smarts, and self-care. Your job is not endless giving, it's sustainable love. So, where the nanny profession is headed then? You've guessed it, education. Education is the new gold standard in childcare. So, families are asking better questions, nannies need better answers. They are increasingly seeking caregivers who understand, again, I'm sorry to be so repetitive, infant and toddler development, emotional regulation and attachment, respectful boundaries, play as meaningful learning, calm, predictable environments. We have here a beautiful agency, two actually, British American and Auntie Annie's agencies, and they can attest. They expect education, not just experience. Caregivers are claiming professional identities. We are all, the fact that we're here, we are seeking training and advocating for respect. So this role is evolving from invisible labor to visible, skilled, professional work. We are no longer helping families, we are shaping culture. We should all be proud of that. Our job is very important. Let's see. The nanny as educator. Every moment teaches something. The nanny as professional educator, even without a classroom. Everyday caregiving as teaching. The importance of understanding child development. Oh, let me go to my. I want to talk about this because I'm biased. I'm a right associate, and to be honest, I have learned some child development courses, but the first course I took was Nurturing Nanny or Cuidadoras Cariñosas uh, from the RAI organization. It's not philosophy based on what Magda Gerber, the founder, believes, or she's not some sort of guru that because she said so, we have to do so, but it's completely backed in science. Like we know now that the more we distract the child and the more we offer courses in the early years, the more we hinder brain development. So 80%, I would say, of my knowledge of child development came from this course. We, we coined, Magda Gerber coined the term edu carers, education and caregivers, meaning that an educator is the person who educates while she cares. Because we're saying that everyday moment is teaching the child the way I speak, the way I respond to his cues, the way I move my body, how I use my hands is teaching the child something. So we're educating whether we know it or not. Even the things that we think are good for the child are actually hindering. If I start teaching ABC to a 2-year-old, he's not ready. He's not ready to get uh, this kind of education. We, we first hit the natural parts of the brain, which is playing on the floor, where the child can manipulate objects and learn through it, to develop the fine motor skills while they manipulate the objects. That is going to help him in the future to write, to go to school. So everything we do is intentional. We don't put things in their hands and make them shake it. That doesn't help. In fact, hinders brain development. So these are a few examples I can give you about that. But so what I want to imply to all of you today is that education is the new gold standard in childcare. Again, experience is not going to help you. Education protects children, families, and caregivers. Um, we need to have some foundation, and we're anchoring ourselves to bring something to the families we are helping. Education doesn't add more to your job, it removes the chaos. I was listening, and I want to talk about that. The transitions, I think somebody said transitions are hard with the parents when they are at the house. And one nanny, I think, I don't know where she, but I like what she said. This is something you should converse in the beginning in your interview. So this doesn't happen. You say, because the interview, as the previous speaker said, is the parents are not interviewing me. I am interviewing them too. And I want to say, you work at home. I wonder how is that going to look like? Would you like to set up a time in which I will prepare the child for you to come in and say hello? Because how many of us dislike, to put it mildly, uh, that when we are doing something with the child, then the parent comes in, and alas, the whole routine, everything went through the drain, and the child now is dysregulated. Now he's crying. Now he doesn't want he only wants mommy. So these things can be avoided in the first interview. All of you already have experienced that. So learn from that experience. To the next job that you go ahead and say it in the interview. I appreciate you working from home. That's very beneficial to the child to know that mom and dad are always available here for us. But let's make a plan. Let's see, when are you going to come in, so I'll have the child ready for you. And when you come, does that look like 1 minute or 5 minutes or 10 minutes? So we make a plan because you are educated, you are protecting yourself, you want to set good boundaries that are going to have a child regulated, not jumpy because he's always looking at the door waiting. My mom is going to come, my mom is going to come, rather than saying, I know you'll come, mom is coming, but not yet. You can still play. I'll tell you when mom is going to come through the door. So all of these things, everything that happens in our day-to-day with the families, we need to learn for the next family not to commit the same mistake. I know this is resonating with you. So it removes the chaos. When we have an education, removes the chaos. Now, to round it up a little bit, what I have learned in 20 years, 20 plus 25 years, I need to tell you what I've learned. You can share, read that, but I have something I wrote here. So after 25 years as a nanny, here's what I know. Every hug, every story, every calm no, it wires the brain of the child for life. The way I treat this child is going to stick with them for life until he's 80, 90. In Rai, we say our childhood takes us by the hand until the end of our lives. I'm actually going to go next Wednesday to listen to Gabor Mate. He's going to be in Pasadena talking about trauma because I myself educate myself all the time. And I'm going to share with all my students who come next week to the class what did I learn. But I'm excited about because trauma starts in childhood. So every interaction shapes the brain. Science says so. Harvard says responsive relationships build the architecture like bricks in a foundation. Weak ones, cracks later, strong ones are a lifelong strength for the child. The nanny-child bond, it's not a joke, it's not fluff, it is everything. That secure attachment fuels learning, health, even happiness, decades out. I'm gonna tell you my child, one kid specifically that I took care of. I started with him when he was 5 months old, and I stayed with this family for 12 years. This is the longest I've worked for someone. He is 16 today. He always knew he was not gonna go to school. He is being tutored. He just wants to finish high school, but he has been auditioning because he wants to be an actor. And in a very proud moment for me, personally, it's a kiss from God or the universe, whatever you want to call it. He called me like a month ago, and he said, "Larissa, I knew he was, ¿cómo se dice? He was auditioning, and he said, I got my first gig. I'm gonna be an actor. I'm gonna be the lead role in a movie." My tears were crashing down my face. Even now, I get the chills. And he says, "Do you want to come to the set with me? Because as a minor, I need someone on set because he's only 16 and he's starting his career as an actor." And I, I was like, "Oh my God!" I said, "I can't. You did it. Didn't we pray about this? Didn't we ask?" And I knew it was gonna come. He was like, "Well, it's a short film. It's not." I said, every actor starts with a short film." And I went at 6 a.m., picked him up, and as a good nanny, I brought him snacks, and he looked at the snacks and he said, "Oh, you brought me snacks?" And I said, "Well, once your nanny, always your nanny." He could not believe. So it was such an emotional moment for me that this kid, in the first important thing of his life, of his career, would want me, not even his parents. His dad is a big actor too. He says, "No, I don't want my dad because it's bad. I know if you come, I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be okay." And I did. So this is what I've learned. Like these relationships we build that are based on respect, good attachment, good relationship, which all science is saying that the relationship between caregiver and child, it's foundational. So education is a game changer. I encourage you to stay current. Brain science, attachment tools, and suddenly you're not just going to be just a nanny. Bottom line, your daily work, it's brain building magic. Own it. Be proud of yourself. Let's see. Nanny identity. Who are you? And this is the part, okay, guys? Don't slouch. Come on. Don't fall asleep on my talk. Who are you? You are a childhood professional, caregiver and observer, a guide and a regulator, a protector of development and dignity. And in the quiet spaces of everyday care, you become someone extraordinary for the child. You are a child hero, brain shaper, neuro sculptor, culture shaper, and a future riser. Because the future of our societies is being formed today, in living rooms, play spaces, and nursery floors, often in the presence of a thoughtful, educated nanny like you. So please today feel empowered, feel important of the amazing job you're doing. You're not just raising children, you're shaping the humans who will shape the world. And I'm rounding up and I'm gonna give space for questions. This is a quote that says, those providing infant and toddler care, you have one of the greatest teaching responsibilities in society. You are more likely to influence social development and learning potential than university professors. Therefore, you deserve to make the 500,000 a year. To you, to you. So my dear colleagues, I see you, I understand you, I feel you. I'm just like you. I just decided to educate myself. So if you want to take one thing is you're not failing because this work is hard. This work is hard because it matters. It's really important. So when we slow down, educate yourselves, and trust children more, we don't just become better nannies, but we become better humans. Yeah? This is an invitation, and I'm going to go to questions. You see my table. I'm going to be teaching next week the Nurturing Nanny course. Renata is waiting there. Don't go anywhere yet. We still have time for questions. I know I've been speaking, but this is going to be your turn to speak. I want you to tell me what resonated, what questions you may have, and I'm going to just leave that there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are a hero of childhood. Thank you. So please come to the front if you have any questions. Oh, I have flyers for the course too. Any questions, comments, something you want to add on, curiosity? Come on. Don't be shy. Oh, I see someone coming. I love you. Thank you. Mhm. To help out. Right. Very good question. First of all, it's all going to depend in the relationship we have with the family. If this is a family who are present and they can talk to you, because I've seen nannies, I've heard families that they you walked in and they disappear. There is never communication with the parents is very important. I do not quit just yet, but I would try to have a conversation. Maybe at the end of the day, stay 5 minutes and say, may we talk about something with the parents first and say, every time you walk in or every time I have to go, it's hard. I see, like, when I want to give lunch and if you're there, if he sees you, he doesn't want to eat. So how can we work with this? Because you want your child to eat, you want your child to do this and that. That's with the parents. As for the child, how to prepare the child for transition. You always tell the child what's going to happen before it happens. If the child is happy playing and all of a sudden is snatched to eat, he's going to scream and cry. Would you like to be sitting here and somebody grabs you? It's time for you to go to the bathroom. Why do we do it to the child? So you say, knowing the behavior of the parents, you say, she's about to come. Charlie, you know what? I know we're playing here, but I know your mommy might come to see you for a little bit if she's coming. If it's time to do lunch, I see you playing really good, but I have your lunch ready. I want you to come. So give him a minute. And even if he says not, okay, you can finish what you're doing. And I would even use in a moment is going to be time for us to go. Because 5 minutes through the kids, they do not understand time. So my answer is two parts. Number one, talk to the parents if there is a relationship. Number two, prepare the child, because if you have been long enough in the family, you kind of see how they roll during the day. Then you can be one step ahead and say, "Oh, I know they are gonna come." I prepare the child. I always tell them what's gonna happen, and with the parents, the conversation. If nothing works, as I said, I hope we are resourceful nannies. We have some experience. We have, thank God, the agencies that can help us. As I said myself, I quit last Wednesday. I hope that helps, that answers. Thank you. Any other questions? Eva.
Bueno, yo no tengo una pregunta, yo tengo un comentario. Esa es la segunda vez que va a Larisa y yo me vuelvo a enamorar de ella. He tomado muchos cursos, he aprendido bastante, me gusta aprender, me gusta estar en clases, pero la clase de ella, la verdad que es algo que a todas les aconsejo. Yo he cambiado todo un mundo en mi cabeza, la forma de cómo ver a un niño, cómo tratarlo, cómo tratarme, cómo ser más paciente y entender los sentimientos. Hay muchas cosas que he aprendido con ella, que he implementado y que me encantaría que ustedes se tomaran esa oportunidad de tomar la clase y de ver el mundo ahora como yo lo veo.
Gracias, Eva. En nuestro curso, we encourage nannies to see babies with new eyes. Adelante. Ujú. Mm. Ujú. Ujú. Muy bien.
Y ahora que trabajamos los dos padres a veces en casa, en la entrevista que le preguntan las mujeres, ¿cómo ellos van a salir para van a poder trabajar si están escuchando a niños, ¿verdad? Van a o van a hablar del respeto o el momento que están tocando. Yo no digo que mi mamá o mi papá así, lo que tienen de tener el trabajo que tienen. Eso es algo que últimamente lo hago en mis han funcionado y yo digo, podrían hacer cosas. Yo no digo que más, pero si hay problemas de belleza que hagamos como mencionó Sarisa, de que tengamos una comunicación clara de que aceptamos que no puede venir demostrate que cada vez que la mamá viene a mi casa, estamos aquí. Entonces ahí preferiría por el bienestar de ellos, por el beneficio de nosotros. Entonces es algo que la comunicación abierta.
Excellent, excellent collaboration. Yes. How would you feel that people do that to you? Mhm.
Hola, hola. Mi pregunta es respecto al apego. Profesionalmente, ¿cuánto apego es bueno? Actualmente cuido dos niños y únicamente he notado que prefieren estar más tiempo conmigo que con sus propios padres. A los padres pareciera que esto no les molesta, pero no quisiera que se sintieran reemplazados.
Very good question. Attachment theory, and depending on how you are interpreting attachment, she says the children want to be with me more than the parents, which is normal because the sooner the child sees you and says, I know she only comes for me to be all day. She's not on her phone, she's not working, she's just for me. And he, of course, the baby feels drawn to you because he knows you are for him 8 hours a day. So it naturally the child is inclined to be with you. How much is much more? First of all, I want to make a differentiation of what attachment theory is. Attachment theory that doesn't mean that the child likes to be with me. There's three types of attachment: secure, insecure, and avoidant. Let's just talk about the secure attachment. Secure attachment is when the child knows that you are my safe, you are my base, and I am free to explore the world because I know when I come back, you're always there. Yeah. The insecure is the child who is so clingy that never wants to let you go because he knows you might disappear and he doesn't want to let go of your side. That's insecure. The avoidant is that he nothing. He's he has both, but still is not good attachment. So what we want to create based on the relationship with the child is the secure attachment, that this child knows I can be at the park and he's 2 years old, he's walking and he's free to wander because he knows he can always come back to me. Most of the babies do not have that with the parents because the parents come in and out. They appear and disappear. But who is the constant? You. You are offering that balance in this family. You are saving, you're protecting that child, that he has someone that he's secure, that she's always going to be there. So it's not much that they prefer me, but that's how they feel. We don't want to make the parents jealous. It has been occasions that the parents have been like, oh, and they take it personally. So there's something I would say, yeah, I see you come to me. I see mommy wants to go with you and you're coming to me. You spend the most of the day with me, and that is why. But listen, I'm gonna go to the kitchen. I'm gonna put a load of laundry. I want you to stay with mom. And gently but surely, I walk away and I let the mom or the dad. And this is another thing that the agencies put in the job description. You need to know how to read the room. I see the parents coming immediately. I'm dismissing myself. I'm telling the child, I see mom and dad coming. I'm gonna go do something else because they are coming to visit you. And of course, children grab to you. I know. I'll be just right in the kitchen. Mommy is coming to say hello. And I remove myself from the picture to give room for the parents. Now, in 26 years, I gotta tell you, I did not, because many adults, not you, love it when the child cries for them. Let me tell you, that's nothing to be proud about. That's an insecure child who doesn't know if you're ever gonna come back. So, my relationship with the child, always nurturing, loving, kind, but never toxic. I love you. I never, like, I don't want the child this kind of love. I want the child respect, kindness. You have your space, I have my space. I respect you, I'm here for you, I will protect you, but not this toxic, like, oh, he cries for me and that makes me feel so good. No, that is not good. Actually, that is, I know the child is going to cry, but the best you can do for him is go down eye level and say, Charlie, you know, every day I go home, I'll be back tomorrow, see you tomorrow. Stand up and walk away. No sneaking away, not lying or cheating the child so he doesn't see you leave. That is disrespectful. That is not respectful, because the child eventually learns that you always come back. And that is building resilience and trust. He's not going to be an insecure adult who doesn't have good relationships because he's scared, because he has abandonment issues. So, as you can say, first 3 years, whatever we do to them is going to impact the future. I don't know how much longer I have. If there is any other question, no, I am having the signals from the, and I, please let's give honor Kenda and all the team for putting this together. Thank you so much.